Hey there, fellas. So today, here we are again with Alligator Gennady. In the previous episode, we've installed a separate front carriage, stiffened the frame. This does kind of look like a hot rod, but on the other hand, we're not quite there yet. We've been arguing with the guys on whether we should get rid of these wheels, the stock ones in the middle, and we've decided to leave them alone for the time being. Anyway, today we'll make an attempt at installing a third engine, just like we promised. We're curious to see whether we make any gains, and whether or not this works at all. I mean, we don't even know yet whether it's possible to synchronize them properly, but we do know for sure that we're gonna need to install 2 pairs of screw-studded tires in the back. It is wintertime, we're gonna need that grip. First we get the car to where we want it, then we do some testing. I did have a go in this car recently, and I remember very well how hard it pulled with just the 2 engines. And now I'm just itching to find out what'll happen when we add a third one into the mix. Let's finish working on this Alligator and go for a ride. Let's do this. Just so you know, fellas, we were preparing this Lada 2106 for some drifting, but now we want to borrow its engine. It's a regular 1.3, so nothing special. So that car has 2 engines with a total displacement of 2.7 liters, and an extra 1.3 would bring the total up to an even 4 liters, and 12 cylinders in total. Now that should make for some... We really don't want to bring this car to the edge of its life. I mean, the shell is in pretty decent condition. Whatever, I say we yank out the motor and slap it onto that car. Give me that. Alright, let's do this. Monster Lada with 3 motors, 4 liters, 12 cylinders. Translation and voiceover by BMI Russian. Okay, first fire up using 1 starter motor. Let her rip, man. Let's see if they turn over. It's having a hard time. Hang on. Yeah, you're right. That's exactly what I'm looking at here. Turns out we have some air leaking. We should plug it with something. Try that again while I plug it with my finger. Now, you've just witnessed the first fire-up. That was genuinely the first time. We're looking good. That was using 1 starter motor. It had a really hard time turning over all 3 engines. We will be installing a second one. Let's keep that one from failing. All 3 engines seem to be working just fine. It's hard to tell without any mufflers. We won't be installing any, by the way. In any case, we had to feel the exhaust manifolds. If you can feel them getting warm, that means everything's working. We are getting a lot of noise, which is quite a lot of fun. Right, it's time to finish getting everything assembled, pour in some fluids, and go out for a test drive. Alright, so we've just rolled out Gennady to get him in a straight line. We'll drive him back and forth a bit, make sure nothing's falling off. And then, if nothing breaks, we can take him to the test track. There we'll put the car through its paces and see how it goes. Let's fire it up first. See what's up. Hang on. It works. Works like a charm. Maybe you want to back it up? Alright, it's time to go. We are going to need a miracle to transport this thing to the track, where we try... No, not try. We are going to do some testing. Turns out that it's not that easy to get this car onto a flatbed. We've measured it in length, and it is pretty ridiculous. Anyway, we'll give it a try and see whether it fits or not. If it doesn't, well, that's gonna be slightly upsetting. But we always hope for the best, so let's do this. Alright, we've made it. We're at the test track. We've successfully fitted the tires. Just like I promised, we've installed a pair on both sides. A couple of pairs of our homemade screw-studded tires. They should give us some serious grip. So 3 motors. 2 motors were enough to spin a single pair, but now we have 4 tires in the back. We have yet to see whether 3 motors will get them to spin. We'll find that out soon. As usual, we've come to our test track. As usual, it's pretty cold outside. Right, let's go. Let her rip. Okay. This thing has a ton of power. You can really feel it. It's pretty impressive. This is pretty terrifying. It goes like hell. It picks up and... Wow, that was pretty scary. Seriously, fellas. Alright, let's try that again.
Caramba!
Come on now. Right, okay. Okay, so what's the result? 5.4! That's great. Better than last time. What can I say about this experiment? This is all pretty wild. I usually don't use these expressions, but whatever. This thing is awesome. 3 motors with a total of 12 cylinders. It goes like... I don't know exactly how much power we have, but it feels like at least 250 or maybe even 300. I mean, 4 studded tires. You guys might recall that a single Lada motor couldn't even get 2 wheels to spin. It just didn't have enough power and torque to do that. But these 3 motors got all 4 wheels to... They were literally ripping chunks of ice from the road, leaving 4 deep grooves as the car took off. We've got some healthy power here for sure. You saw the results for yourselves. 2 motors were good for a 6-second time. Yes, that was to 60 kilometers an hour, but it is the middle of the winter after all. And after installing the 3rd motor, we were able to get that down to 5.6, 5.8 seconds, so we went under the 6-second mark. Now those are some solid results. The car might have gotten heavier, but nonetheless, the acceleration has definitely improved. It's a bit frustrating that all 4 wheels lose grip despite the studs. I meant to say the screws. I guess you can call them studs too. Anyway, from a dig, it doesn't really grip, and that sucks. Also, it's difficult to modulate the clutch. After all, we only have 1 clutch, working together with 3 motors. I'm genuinely worried about it failing prematurely. I'm not ready to burn the clutch out just yet. So yeah. How about... What if we install a 4th? No, no more engines. Forget that I said that. When you're sitting behind the wheel of this car, and you see a pair of wheels and a radiator so far ahead of you, you're like, where are my wheels? What the hell? It's as if you're sitting inside, not in the front seat, but rather on top of the back wheels, with everything else situated somewhere in front of you. The view you get from behind the wheel is pretty epic. You really have to try it out for yourself to believe it. You've got this enormous front end, with these 3 air cleaners. It is quite a trip, actually. In any case, you really shouldn't be afraid to do some experimenting. Try something like this out for yourselves, just to feel the effect of adding 1 motor, then another one. You actually get a lot of extra horsepower. That was awesome. I say this experiment was a huge success. This car goes like hell. The acceleration is seriously impressive, I have to say. We have got a ton of horsepower here. We had quite a lot of fun today. Anyway, fellas, time to wrap this one up. Don't be afraid to experiment. Hit that like button, leave some comments and suggestions. Don't forget that we have a 2nd channel and a VK page. Alright, see you later.